Tyler, now it's your turn.
Yeah, so I agree with what Breck and Mihai have already said that I think signals are going to be great from like an atomic state perspective. Like that is it's the primitive, reactive primitive, right? So it's going to be the smallest piece to this puzzle. But like they've said, this isn't an RxJS or a signals type conversation. This is a RxJS with signals type conversation. What I am most excited about is not necessarily the reactive flow that they provide, but what they mean for change detection itself and the ramifications of that. So, like with the current change detection model, where all of changes are detected in the component tree, uh, you're kind of limited as to what you can do with creating like widget style components that take state, because once they take state and they're marked for check, every component in the component tree from that point to the top has to be marked for checked. So there are performance ramifications to doing those types of things because we don't have localized change detection. Signals changes that. Uh, and that's going to be the big thing from my perspective. Like a lot of the performance issues that I've run into with providing these like widget style smart components, uh, that's no longer going to be a performance concern anymore with signals and what it means for change detection. It's definitely one thing I wanted to mention here is that like I've played around with signals and the effects that you can do with them and that sort of stuff. And while like I think this is going to simplify Angular, people can get started and build basic CRUD apps without ever using RxJS. However, since I've been using RxJS for years and like that's not really a learning curve to me at this point, there are times where like I've run into situations where fork join made the code a lot simpler than like a promise all would do. But like if you're not familiar with RxJS, it provides an additional avenue for you to get into Angular without having to learn RxJS, which is going to flatten that learning curve and I think ultimately help Angular adoption. So I think this is a big thing for Angular, not just in terms of what it means for change detection and for existing Angular users, but what it could mean for Angular adoption.
Yeah, I think that we are mostly agree that the possibilities that signals will give us is generally good, and we are all looking forward